last anesthesia?
2 years ago.
Okay,
Probably.
perfect.
Exactly.
Then that is 100% reason as to why somebody would say they lied.
I just moved here and I was like, what is this? This is cool. It's whatever.
Before that,
And
that
then Otay Ranch was like, oh, dang. East Lake. I was like, this is kind of nice. I was like, this is weird. People talk so differently about this area, but it's so nice.
Oh, no. Otay and East Lake, that's the nice shit.
People don't understand San Diego. I'm like, y'all just don't venture out of your area. And that's why I feel like, you know, when you're new to a place, drive Uber and Lyft. You'll make the money and you'll learn to sit.
Hey, if y'all really up for motherfuckers sitting in your car for Uber or Lyft and all that.
Hey, I was a DJ, to be real.
Hey, I'm not shooting down nobody. I'm just, if y'all are up for it, then like he said, that's 100% way to find out what San Diego's about and make some money.
Meet some people. Oh, the best is when someone's like, yo, we're going here. You want to come through? I'm like, yeah, turn off the app. Go through. Go to the party. That's what's happening tonight. And then you pick up the craziest one. I was driving Uber in Nashville. And I was like, you know what? I got to go to dinner tonight. I got to pay for this. I'm going to go make some money real quick. My friends were in town from Indiana from college. And I picked them up and took them out. I made the money on that.
I was going to say, like, that's an easy plug. They had to pay for it anyway because they're already out of town, so they don't have a ride anyway.
Exactly.
So it's like, okay, yo, y'all pay me. I'll drive y'all around tonight, and I made some bread.
So the way the business started for Retro Windbreakers was funny. I was driving Uber and Lyft when I first moved here. And I was taking all that money that I was getting and paying for my rent. And once that was covered, I was just buying jackets. And I've just been collecting them. But I've been collecting for so long. But I've officially started like when I moved to San Diego. So San Diego has like my heart when it comes to like the
So when you started collecting them, you was collecting them before you even got to San Diego?
Yeah, I was collecting in 2016, 15 in college. I was just collecting all the ones that I liked personally, old ones, 90s.
And was your plans to sell them when you was collecting them?
Never.
You like, these are just personal fits.
Yeah, personal. And I had 2 pop-ups in like probably 2019. Yeah, I had one during the NFL draft in Nashville and another one the same weekend.
And that's when you was going to college?
Yeah, and that was pretty much paying for like some of the things in college, and then most of the things.
So that alone, the pop-up was paying for stuff in college for you?
Yeah, because I invested like 3-4 years of just my time
grabbing that
to grab. Yeah.
And where were you even getting them from?
So at first, you know, it's the Goodwill hunt. Everybody goes to Goodwill.
Damn.
So I was like 15, 16 when I first started going to Goodwill. When I got my license at 16, I would go every Saturday because then we do half off. I was like 50 cents for a shirt. I'm going. and out here it's probably like $5. But back in 2011. That's so it was 2011, 2010. I was going to Goodwill and my parents were getting so mad because I was bringing home so much clothes and they're like, where are you getting that? And I didn't want to say it because they got mad at me because they got mad every time I got the Goodwill because it was the funkiest outfits and they're like, you're not wearing that.
Oh, okay. So there was more kind of traditional.
My family is very traditional, and I was just a little too loud.
Right.
It was great.
So it was like, hey, why are you wearing that? Like, you know, we don't do that. So it was like you bring home all this shit all the time, man. You starting to piss me off.
So I was getting everything shipped to my family's house for probably 3 years. And the USPS was having a problem with me. My mom, my dad, my siblings, everybody was like,
there was nobody else you trusted that you could have shipped it to their place?
So it just, at the time I was working, I was traveling.
You were like 15 and shit.
No, at this time I was around 22.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but before I was doing all the Goodwill hunt. And then I started getting a lot more shipments and that was becoming an issue with my family. So we started fighting over the packages. So like the jackets have such a fun story for me. It's just like I've been wearing them for so long since I was a kid, and then started to sell them at sororities and fraternities in college. And then after college, I just took some time off and worked for my family. And then after that, I moved to Chicago. Quarantine hits.
Man, I swear everybody got a story.
Quarantine hits.
Yeah, and what happened in quarantine for you?
What happened to you?
Shit, quarantine. I was good. I think we were still working during quarantine. Like we were still traveling. I had a job where I was traveling all over. Like still.
Where were you when it like they were like you can't go anywhere outside the United States? I remember I was in Nashville when that.
I was right here, Cali.
You were right here.
Yeah, we were still good though. Like I was still. That's when we did that's when remote work really came. Like. Oh, everybody doing that.
Oh, I know.
You could, and then it's like, damn, you could do your work from home. It's like I can do and still make this like, oh, damn, I ain't never going anywhere. So that's when, like, for me, like you said, when quarantine hit, I was home, and I mean, that's when I was established with a job. I wasn't doing anything with this at all. This honestly wasn't even a thought for me during that, but
that's a blessing, though. This is what it comes to. You know?
Yeah. So you said like when quarantine hit, what was it for you?
Joshy June, come home. My mom calls me, you're coming home. So I was in
Hey, wait, when quarantine you was in Chicago.
I was in Chicago. Yeah, I had a job in Chicago. And what happened was I got fired 2 weeks before the pandemic hit. It wasn't because of the pandemic or people getting laid off. It was because I wasn't fit for the job.
And you're fucking around.
I'm not messing around. And when people say like you get fired from a job, it's not the end of the world, because
not at all.
The guys in the building for the company, great people, brothers, friends, still talk to them to this day, and they go, "This isn't the job for you. You're meant to go do something more important and like more impactful on the world than what you're doing here." And they were like, "We know that, and you know that." And I was like, at the time, I was like, you know what, this hurts coming from y'all. But it's also thank you for the support to tell me that like you can use your creativity in a different way, positively, versus like get out of here, you weren't worth it.
Right.
You know?
I was just about to ask, like when they said that to you at the time, did you believe them, or you was like, you know damn well y'all bullshitting me? Y'all like you said, these are good people. Y'all my homie, and y'all just want to let me go. Or did you take it as like this is for real?
Crazy. This was only 5 weeks into the job, and I moved everything I had from Nashville to Chicago for the.
I would have been a little pissed.
Yeah, I was upset, and I looked at the bright side of it.
Yeah, you had to. After
there's
that.
Opportunity. So I had already had, numerous jackets in my wardrobe and closet.
So you brought those,
but no, when I was in college, I had to pay rent. And I didn't have enough money because I left my job in Nashville working. So I sold all of my jackets at a fraternity one day, and they were having like a 90s party. So they hit me up and they're like, "Hey, can you come through and sell some jackets?" I sold over like 80 jackets to the whole fraternity, and then the sorority that was pairing with them. So that I got all my money for rent, and then really
you could say how much you were selling those for? At that
time? The time, I was selling them at like $30-$40.
Damn.
I didn't know what the real value was at the time. But over the next course of like 2019, 2020, 2021, it's the product is scarce. It's not as as like available as it used to be, because people know the value now, and it's even harder for me to get them. And that's why now we're really focusing on the high-end product, and then we're working more on the brand, because brand is longevity, and we also want to uphold our quality. And we have a really interesting like aspect in the game for vintage, because we have all the categories of sports that people are looking for.
Right.
And the thing is, there's missing pieces in the vintage, I would say, game, is because there's so many different players that sell the same product. But where can you really get everything that you need for one product? You can't really find it.
Right. You got to go to another store.
Another store. So if there's a platform, they go to Depop. Have you heard of Depop?
I was about to ask you, what the hell is Depop?
So Etsy,
what is Depop?
Etsy.
I know what Etsy is.
So it's
my girl be shopping on that thing.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So if you're a vintage reseller, it's a fun platform to work on, especially when you're like just starting up, I used to go on there and sell every once in a while because it's a platform where people sell their vintage, and that's pretty much how they make income, And for me, it was selling the jackets at pop-ups. When you do it in front of people that have no clue what is going on, they see the jackets, it's nostalgia. It makes you happy. Like I'm so happy every day when I see the products, because I'm like, this is cool. I didn't even know I had this.
Yeah.
Type stuff.
Yeah.
So it's really interesting.
So what would you do if those retro jackets were no more? So, and that's what, that's based off of like with retro windbreakers.
Yeah.
So what would happen if those went scarce? Like you said, they're getting harder and harder to get. I don't know, however you're getting it from.
Yeah. But so the supply nowadays isn't what it used to be, because
it's no longer Goodwill hunting.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I'm saying? You can't just go and
you can't
pop up and be like, yo.
What's really interesting is Goodwill has their own platform now for selling online. So what they do is they have
I shopped on there.
Yeah, so they have people picking, and then they sell on other platforms like eBay, Etsy, and other sites, even Amazon.
Whatever hits.
They find it anywhere. And what's really interesting is they have a watermark in all of their photos, so you can see who's actually selling it and from what distribution center it's from and everything. It's so detailed. It's watermarked at the very top. So I know exactly where like some of these they're coming from all over the United States, but it's getting more scarce because people are holding on to these products because they're in high demand right now, and I'm trying to find more. So if you have any, call me.
Right.
It's crazy. But if you take it all away from me, I was actually talking to my family about this. It's just like the podcast and the Umbrella Podcast. You know what I'm saying? You can take everything away from me, but you can't take away my brand. You can't take away my name. If you go somewhere and there's nothing that you want to buy, you can still make it. And that's powerful. When you're able to make your own product, it's art. It's limitless. And that's the power of a brand,
right? Versus
a retro jacket. A retro jacket is nostalgia. It's happiness. It's bright colors. It's style. It's fit. It's material. It's just like the corduroy and like all those materials earlier, you were talking about. So it's things that go with the outfits that you have. But when you have a brand, you can build exactly that same structure and model for what they did, incorporate it into your brand. So you can take ideas from other people and make them your own. And that's what my dad taught me. You don't have to change everything. Just make it unique, make it different, change it up, be exciting, but not too bold, but bold enough to where you stand out amongst other people.
Right.
And that's what you guys are doing.
Right.
You have to stand out
and I appreciate
your own
that.
way. Yeah, of course. You guys caught my attention when you just started.
Yeah. So we was talking about that same thing, how we just started on just reaching out like we did.
So branding is all about longevity. It's not today. It's not tomorrow. It's not next week. I'm thinking 10, 20, 25, 30 years now. Because you look at the vintage jackets. And for me, I love fashion. I studied it in college at Indiana. And what's really cool is I was fortunate enough to study couture, and you know why it lasts so long? Because it's high quality. When it's a vintage jacket, it's made with the best materials, larger logos, embroideries, patches. Quality is
that's my thing.
Top
I like
tier.
that. Yeah.
And that's exactly what the brand of Team Retro is, because we uphold the quality, because we want you to be able to wear a denim jacket in 30 years and call that vintage, you know? Because I've had clothing lines that just failed because the quality wasn't there.
Right.
I can make as much as I want, but can you sell it?
Right. Is somebody going to be checking for you and want to buy that?
Exactly. So the clothing game is fun, but it's rough. It's tough. You fall down more than you build.
Mm-hmm. Definitely. Even like you, even with that like statement, even just starting a brand alone, like failure is going to be your best teacher because you keep on failing, but you keep learning as to like, okay, I messed up. That don't work. Let me try something else. Okay, that didn't work. Until whatever works hits for you. And then when it don't work again, now I got to try something else.
Just like we were talking about earlier is time. It's
exactly.
Time's going to tell, but it's also you have to build that timeline and really pinpoint how is it going to happen and why is it going to happen? How are you going to make it happen? And write down those key bullet points to get you where you need to go. You know, well, I've been so fortunate enough is to have mentors and people to teach me, not even teach me, just for me to watch what they do and then try to implement that into what I'm doing, you know, and then incorporate that into the team aspect of the retro game too. It's really fun because you get to learn from older people and even younger people.
They got some wisdom for you. And even some, like you just said, younger people, they got them some wisdom for you too.
Yeah, exactly.
Welcome to another episode of the BiGG Umbrella Podcast. That's big with 2 G's. I'm going to repeat that. That's big with 2 G's. The BiGG Umbrella Podcast. And we got Persian Drizzy. Some of you may know. Some of you may know him as Josh. Retro Windbreakers. We got, like I just said, we got Jess. I'm going to let him introduce himself because that's what we let him do. Go ahead and introduce yourself, man.
Just like they do for the intros of a football game.
Yes, sir.
You know how they do it? Josh Asien, Indiana University. Don't even say the hometown. They're just like straight to the college team.
And then what do you do if you did go to college? You say your high school or you just say...
Yeah, it's like Kobe Bryant.
Yeah,
you said his high school.
Right.
Oh, that's so funny.
So you just touched on Indiana. So where did you go to college?
So I grew up in Nashville.
Right.
And I was applying for schools. And for college, the first year I actually spent abroad in Israel. My parents wanted me to go on a gap year. So
did they want you to go to... Is that where, like, was that where your family from?
No, so my family's originally from Iran.
Okay.
And they moved to the States in the late 70s. And
did Iran just win like something in soccer?
No, it's actually the Persian New Year. It's crazy.
Oh, okay. I thought because I was in El Cajon, I could have sworn Iran.
It's a Persian New Year. It's crazy.
Oh, okay.
Nowruz. I was celebrating last night.
They had this was a couple months ago.
Really?
Yeah, this is soccer.
Oh, they were probably playing in the World Cup.
Yeah, it was
first
it
game
was some soccer or something. Yeah, and they won.
World Cup.
They was going crazy in El Cajon. I swear they was like they flags.
They won one game. I think.
Yeah, they was going crazy. But what were you saying though?
Nah, so my family's from Iran. And they moved to the States in the late 70s. And my dad, he always says, why'd y'all move from Iran to the country, to Nashville, Tennessee? And my dad was like, our car broke down on the way to New York. He always says that. And I love it. It's such
he being for real?
No, he was joking.
Okay.
It's a running joke in the family.
Yeah.
It's just our car broke down on the way to New York. Because it's either the Persians are in L.A. Or they're in New York.
That's so goddamn far.
Exactly. But they're on either side. Right. It's so funny. But my mom's side's on LA, and then my dad's side is also in New York.
Okay.
So he was like on the way to New York because he has family there.
Ended up in Tennessee.
So that's how I ended up in Tennessee. And when I was living in Israel, I was waitlisted at a couple schools, and I had to reapply. So I reapplied to Indiana University, and I got in. So I went there, and that's when like life was just pretty wild and fun, but it was a really cool time, college. Yeah. Indiana.
And like you said, you were able to get in with the sororities and things like that. Like how was it that they even knew who you were? Yeah. So in college, I started a clothing line with one of my friends first semester of college. Because what did you even call that? Was that still this name as it is today?
No, so that was called. It is called because we'll bring it back. Yeah. Is Yaz Apparel. So my last name's Yazdian. most people call me Yaz. When I play baseball, everyone was like Yaz. So it was Yaz Apparel, and we would sell a lot of clothes on campus, and at like my fraternity and my business partner's fraternity.
You were in a fraternity as well?
Yeah, I was in AE Pi, and then he was in D Chi.
You about to be the second person I asked this, because I think somebody else brought about a fraternity. I mean, I don't know if you could speak on it or not.
Yeah.
Was there any point that you had to be spanked or anything like that for you to be
no.
So that was done with.
You would. No, it's like not even what it is.
Okay,
it's totally different.
So that was done by the time
you
was in this.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's probably Fiji.
Okay.
No, none of that. But fraternity sorority stuff is really funny because like people take it so seriously at some schools don't. And then people try to play cool in the fraternity and sorority. And then, the people off campus called G's. I reside with the G's. Mm-hmm. Those were great.
And what's G's mean?
G's, it's like off campus people. I don't even know. It was so funny. I was like, why are people calling people these things? I was like, people.
That's not like G's, like, oh, these are my G's.
Yeah.
Like, but G's, it's not that.
No.
Okay.
Yeah, it's so funny. But being in like the clothing industry, I guess in Indiana, there wasn't much going on.
Right.
And the designs were stale.
Mm-hmm.
So I became friends with the apparel chair at the fraternity, and he gave me the manufacturer that he was going through to make the fraternity clothes. Because every fraternity and sorority has gear for like homecoming and different events like family.
You want to rep your fraternity.
Yeah. So I started making it for our fraternity, and we started wearing it out, and people started
this was really Yaz Apparel.
Yeah.
Okay.
And people were really wearing it out. One time we had a beach party. I ordered 1,000 tanks. They were all gone within. Yeah, they were all gone within maybe like 5-6 months.
And this was you selling them or giving them?
No, both. Okay, a little bit of both.
You got to promote.
You got to promote.
Obviously.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there was a beach party. They brought sand into the basketball court, filled the whole thing in with sand, and everybody was wearing the tank tops. It was a red, white, and blue tank top. We all had like a photo shoot, but that was before like Instagram was able to post videos. Like the only platform I really could have been on was like YouTube, but I didn't really like think about it.
Wait, how the hell? Who brought the sand to the basketball court? Who did that?
Dump trucks full.
Y'all had it like that?
Trucks full. Well, they had a budget.
Yeah, but how y'all even? Oh, okay.
Indiana University.
Okay. Oh, damn.
These houses were insane. Like they would house like probably 120 people, 100 people.
And they're living there?
People, yeah, they're like dorms. My house didn't have that many, but some houses housed.
Did you live in the dorm?
Dorms, and then in the house one year. I regret that, but it was a great time.
What is it like living in there with? And it's all dudes and living in there.
Yeah.
What is that
crazy.
Like?
It's.
I mean, do y'all got and
it smells like beer
and ass?
No, I mean, yeah, pretty much. Yeah,
I ain't gonna lie, motherfuckers be funky, and it's no lie. Yeah. So he said it smell like beer, and I know it smell like ass because everybody is not washing daily and all that other shit. But
that's a fact.
Yeah, we gonna keep it going. Yeah. Yeah, it be. I know. I fucking know because it's you living there with all these.
There's so many guys in that, but it's a great time, and that's where I was like really selling the most because people would bring their friends and they would be like, yo, where's that? And he's like, he's downstairs in room 1. And I was on the bottom floor next to the kitchen, my whole wall.
And does you being on the bottom floor mean anything?
No, it just like I was the last one to pick my room. And that's the worst room to have because it's the loudest. It's like right next to the kitchen, right next to the party. For me, everybody walks in the door, you hear it slam.
So they gotta pass you. And like they said, he's in room number 1.
Hey, room number 1. My door's open most of the time. And there was a wall full of every product I sold. Mm-hmm. One of one. And then I would like go ahead and pick it if I needed to buy. But most of the stuff I was selling was like one of one back then. All unique.
Damn. And
hand sewed, hand ironed. I was ironing these things and selling them. I didn't know what I was doing.
Right.
It was
you
fun.
You doing something right.
I was doing something, but it was a fun time.
So what was your best experience at living in that dorm that you lived for a year? With all
I'd
them
say,
dudes?
like, at the time, I didn't know how valuable the content was.
Like the content as far as the Yaz apparel?
Yeah, like whatever I was getting back then was, I didn't know how powerful it was to like do that for a brand and do that and push it on social media platforms and do advertisement. Because I was probably 2019. I didn't know what advertising was.
Right.
I just knew that like I needed to sell the stuff that I bought.
Yeah.
And I needed to take photos of it. So I literally was like, hey, do you guys want to do photos? Like, yeah. I was like, I got a camera. They're like, let's go. So
this must be females.
Yeah, mostly.
Yeah. Let's go. Yeah. I'm like, I mean, that's just, it's other dudes like that. I'm like, hey, but I'm guessing this was females.
No,
but,
it was crazy.
Right.
I was like good friends with the sororities and things like that. I started selling there. And then they saw the photo shoots I was doing. Yeah. And wanted to
You
get
was taking the
involved.
pictures or you had somebody?
Yeah, I was doing that. And then some other people were doing that. Nowadays, we have, multiple photographers working with us and helping us push the brand.
Right. Because they love it as well.
Well, it's not that they love it. They have a vision that I also see as well. And I want to work with that. I respect everybody's angle when it comes to their art and their finesse. It's like, everybody in their own eyes is an artist, whether they like it or not. Right. The way you pick up a drink, the way you hold it, that's unique in your way. Right. So everybody has their own, artist tapped into their head, but some people aren't in tune with it. But when you're very meticulous. You're very like routine based on what you do, and that's the way I am. Yeah. And like I was never like that growing up, especially at the beginning of college. So like learning how to advertise was like, all right, photos. Yeah. Now I feel like it's really transformed into like a video content based world where we advertise. Right. And sometimes simplicity is good, but people always want to see movement. And definitely. I think that's the coolest thing about video content and what you guys do too. It's like you're always on camera, the lighting's nice.
As you know,
don't blind me. Hey, that's why I got hats.
I got the hat and these motherfuckers on. So I mean, we good tonight. I mean, like I don't ever wear them. And I want you to know, like I remember your dad, like he said, if you wearing like glasses in the house, it's like that'll hide your emotion. I want you to know I'm looking directly at you. Yeah, no, I see. Yeah, so I mean, it's not that at all, but definitely, yeah, for sure. And we were just talking about with the what the hell was that? Whatever the hell that was. Is it hard for you to be in a relationship in a sorority? Because I mean,
in a relationship
with a female, like you having a girlfriend. Because I mean, and this is me just
in the fraternity house or
period. So you're in a fraternity. Yeah. I mean, most people are gonna look at you like you partying. You got females over all the time. Blah blah. Whatever. The stigma. What people's gonna build up to be in a fraternity. Is that harder for you to have a relationship established? Like actually something that's solid
in college. That being in the fraternity house, it's not really something that most people are in, especially when they're like 19, 20. It's not. And for me, I was mostly like thinking about work. But like, dating's fun. And for me, it was a lot of work, but that also like took me fun places. I did like road trips to LA from Tennessee, all like probably 4 or 5 times in college.
And how long was that road trip?
32 hours.
Damn, you did that how many times?
Probably around 4 or 5.
Damn, and that
but I never did it alone. I always did it with my homie Dong Kim, and the most fun ride was from Vegas after New Year's to Memphis to see the homie. Damn. And that was a 26-hour drive. But
who drove? Y'all switched off?
Yeah. Okay. But it was awesome. Like I've never really got to know somebody so well, like in a car.
Right, exactly.
That's
Y'all
when
are like this.
Yeah, and what a time.
Yeah,
college.
So I asked you, what was your best time in that what would you say, dorm with the fraternity? What was the worst time for you there?
Worst time? I mean, it's just the failures that you have in business too, like really haunt you. But also like getting past them is the biggest feat, you know? It's like it's cool to see. Yeah, it's cool to see like over time when it's like when you guys started like one podcast, two podcasts. It's like over time you see like, all right, need to tweak something here, maybe tweak it there, but let's continue to do this. So it's like along the journey, it's like I've been learning, especially since college when I first started like trying what a business was, not really official, but it was fun, you know, and then really transforming it into a business that really runs properly and does the right thing and sends the right message, you know, and for me it's really like upholding quality. Like I try not to post so much, but I always try to post quality because that's what you guys deserve. You know, it's like people deserve the best. Like I don't want to put something out that isn't, you know, fully worked on and thought out and really like meticulous. That's just the way I am.
Right.
And when I work with other people to do the content that we create, they have a vision and I'm going to listen because my vision isn't always correct. And I've definitely taken things that from other people that I've seen do art and different content. And I've taken small things from here and there, but in really all actuality, if you're putting it out there, you're making it, man. Like, and that's the best thing about what you guys are doing with the podcast. It's like everything's authentic. It's off the dome.
Like we were talking about earlier.
Yeah. So it's fun too. It's new and fresh. Every day is a new day.
And like you said, like keep your brain actually advancing and active. So that's another thing.
Facts.
So with the highs and lows of the business aspect, who's there for you when it is the lows? Because obviously everybody's around when it's the high.
The highs, the lows, it's my roommate, JP. Day one. Like when we moved in together, we were talking about this tonight at dinner. We were like, dang, we were LLC boys. That's what we called each other. Like the apartment we lived in Gaslamp, we called it the LLC boys because we both had LLCs within the first like 2 weeks of moving in.
Right.
So it was like really cool to see that like I had somebody living with me that's also driven and like he has bad days, he has high days, you know. We go through it together and like we kind of teach each other some things and we help each other in certain aspects. Like I remember I was doing some video and photo content for him. And then he works on, you know, Google advertisements and certain things for us on the other end. So like there's a trade of being like a roommate, but he's my friend. He's my brother. Like his son, Tito, like that's my dog, you know? So he's been through everything with me, especially with this business. And like as much as like my dad's my mentor, my uncle's my mentor, my brothers are my mentors, my sister, my mom, my lovely mom, like she's been there for everything. And what's really cool is that like I could go to them, but he's right here and we see each other every day. And it's really cool to see somebody that's really driven, especially at, you know, at our age, you know, and being around that every day really makes me hungry to do more in what I'm doing.
Right.
You know?
Growing up, were you tighter with your mom or your dad?
So my dad was working, you know, and I respect it because I feel like I'm him. But I spent more time with my mom because she was always around. There. And I'm a triplet. That's what the 3 on the logo represent. And I mean, having triplets, it's hard to.
Do y'all all look the same?
We all look a little different.
Damn, that's crazy.
But the logo is the 3 of us. And then we have an older brother, Aaron. So it's David, Ariel, Josh, me.
Right.
And then older brother, Aaron. And
but he's obviously not the
doctor. Yes, that's the first doctor in the family. So hype.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what's really cool is like my mom, she was always around, and you know, my dad, he worked so hard and he was always at everything that he really could make. And right. Like he really taught me, especially when I was working with him, like how to really properly run a business and how to delegate work. Because if you can't do everything, someone else can do it.
Right.
Just train them, do it properly. Because if you don't do it right the first time, you're never going to do it right at all. Mm-hmm. And what you got to do is what he told me.
But you said if you don't do it right the first time, you're not going to do it right at all?
Well, if you don't do it right, you're just going to keep going down this path. You have to really take your time, make sure the all these aspects are in place, because you're not going to fail if you don't have a backup plan. You're not going to fail. If you have a backup plan, then you have something to fall back to. Mm-hmm. When this is all you got, you're going to write down and make sure everything's prepared in order to get everything done. And that's what he taught me. It's really to like structure the business and help it grow. And my uncle is such a good mentor as well on the selling side, in teaching me how to really interact with people and like really get to know them, not really sell. Because the product that Retro Windbreaker has, they sell themselves. It's really how you feel with the product. What I provide is a story behind that jacket. Where did I get it?
Right.
Like a lot of these jackets have fun stories, and like when I'm with people, customers, friends, family, it's cool to tell the story behind it and what year the jacket's from. And for me, I enjoy that. You know, I studied fashion in college, and I know a bit about why fashion's evolved the way it has and things like that. I study it. I watch Project Runway, you know, it's like,
and I mean, cool I didn't even want to cut you off.
Fashion, yeah.
But why do you feel, like you said, why do you feel fashion has evolved to where it is?
I mean, when you're in really studying social media, that's going to tell you a lot of what's going on nowadays in fashion, because you can find anything online, especially when it comes to if you're watching just the London fashion show, and I go through it every year and I see what is most popular.
So you actually take the time to watch fashion shows.
I screenshot the top 100, every single one that stood out to me.
Right.
Designs that were voted from 1 to 100. And I looked at it and I said, what's standing out to me and why do I like it? And what I figured out nowadays with fashion, you can't put a year on like where fashion is right now. Is it the 90s? Is it the early 2000s? Right, because it's always
going back, forward, futuristic, back.
And now anything goes. 2-3 years ago, that wasn't the case.
That was taboo.
Like, for instance, like a one piece on a swimsuit on a female, you think, oh, that's a mom, older lady. Nowadays, a one piece, you could do so much with that. Mm-hmm. And what's really cool about fashion is silhouettes. That's what intrigues me the most, is like the shape, the feel.
It fits a body.
Yeah. So like really for me right now is like oversized puffer. And like that's truly what's in right now from the research that I did for the London Fashion Show in Paris and all the other shows that I've been watching, is you're seeing this resurgence of like late 80s, early 90s, like puffer oversized, and they're having these silhouettes that are really unique. And that's what I really like. I studied psychology of color in college, and that
tells you what colors make you feel like.
Yeah, well, it's not even what they make you feel. It's really interesting. It's like the psychology, and also just kind of learning how to use those colors together. So it's the theory of color as well. So how to get a whole outfit together, and like, so it has nothing to do
with the emotion behind it.
It does as well. Yeah, 100%. And for you, it's like you like to match what you're wearing, like your kombuchas. But it's for me, what's really cool is when I see someone, I could probably figure out what kind of music you like based on what you're wearing and the way you carry yourself, what jewelry you wear, what tattoos. And that's a fashion of psychology. And that was my favorite class in college. So
you looking at me, what type of music do I like?
You like R&B on the low, for real. But I'm
gonna keep it 100. I like R&B on the high.
On the low.
But you hit the money.
Yeah.
But this motherfucker, no, we was playing R&B on the way over here. So
you have the outfit for like hip hop, and like you also have that like jazzy jive kind of look and the feel. So you're like a mixture with the R&B and the soul.
Hey, well, you hit that shit right on the fucking the nail on the head. So
it's certain things that you're wearing as well. It's like, how tight are your pants fitting? It's just one little detail.
Right.
You know, what kind of shoe you're wearing? What socks? You know, it could be a Nike sock, but some people wear short and it doesn't have a logo. It's certain things that will tell me, like, brands really tell a lot about a person, whether you like it or not.
Right.
It's psychology. You know, it's I want that because maybe no one else has it.
Right.
Or this is a status symbol. So like fashion to me is like, it's really cool because these day and age, you can dress down, but you can still look the flyest in the room.
100%. You could be wearing a plain t-shirt, but the fact that you tucked it and put a belt, it's like, oh damn. And the pants are a little high on the bottom, a little tapered. Like, oh damn, that's the whole outfit. But really, you didn't even really do much. You just accessorize your shit.
One of my favorite holidays, it tells a lot about a person too. It's Halloween. Your alter ego comes out on Halloween.
What was you last Halloween?
Oh man, I'll tell you, 2 Halloweens ago.
2 Halloweens, yeah. What was your alter ego?
I shaved my head.
Bald?
Yeah, and I had the sideburns.
Like ski bald.
Oh yeah. And then I had the sideburns. I was Mr. T.
So you had mad chains then.
I had mad chains,
stupid
jewelry,
chains.
had the boxing shorts, I had everything.
And you really shaved your shit.
Oh, it was amazing. Oh, it was hilarious.
Damn. So your alter ego is Mr. T.
Yeah. And then I was a country boy the next. Because I grew up in the country. I was wearing a NASCAR jacket, a Bass Pro Shop.
And the NASCAR jacket.
I shaved a goatee after that on Saturday. So that was my Friday outfit. And my Saturday outfit was the goatee. And then I wore the goatee to work with the NASCAR jacket.
You wore that just to work. Where was you working at?
Retro windbreakers. I was selling it at the market.
And was they feeling that?
Oh, people were loving it. One day I come back home and I was like, yo, JP, to my roommate, I was like, I had a great day. I was like, you think it was a mustache?
It was hella a mustache.
I was like, I was wearing a polo. I looked like a coach. I was just like, it was amazing. Like, I was like, it was a mustache. So I kept the mustache for like a month. And we were like, that's gotta go.
You said, that's gotta go.
Sales were down.
So with all the product that you've been selling, like you said, you started off at like 30, whatever, 40, whatever the numbers is. How did you
start off with 1?
Whatever.
How about that?
Free. He started off shit. So how did you even get to the number that you? Well, actually, what's the most expensive jacket you sold? If you're able to.
Most expensive jacket we've sold.
Yeah. And when you say we, so you are partnered.
We work with other people.
Okay.
Because we're Team Retro.
Right. Okay. Then for sure.
I don't do anything. I can't do this alone.
Solo, of course.
Like I get other people to work with us, and we really have these really fun partnerships with our customers and honestly family. You know, I call them family because without the people on Team Retro, like we wouldn't be where we are today.
Right.
Like it's my friends, when I first moved here, it was Tiana. It was one of the first people I met here. She goes, if you buy it, if you make it, I'll buy it. And I was like,
so she was telling you she's down for you.
Yeah. And I was like, she was my day one, like first person I met here. I was like, you know what? I'll try it. So I made a couple for my friends, sold out. I was like, this is cool. My homies, I just met these people like a month ago. They're buying my stuff. Who are these people?
Right.
You know, like they're cool. And they were really supporting me day one, paying my rent. Like that's the way it was. I was struggling like that. And I was buying so many jackets. I was like, all right, I still want to start my brand, you know? And like the brand was like kind of under wraps for 2 years. It was just my friends. We were the softball team. We were the retro softball team. Like,
yeah,
we all were repping, and like I had to just like slowly make things, and I had to learn San Diego as well. Like I didn't know the style as much as I really did. You really have to study people, and like where my markets are, every demographic of San Diego is different. So you're in downtown, you're hitting a touristy spot.
right.
You're in Ocean Beach, Pacific Beach is also touristy, but it's also the demographic that's totally different from downtown, El Cajon, East Lake, North County, Carlsbad. You got the surfers, but also inland, you got a different demographic. So all around San Diego, there's different, as I say it, different hat sizes, different hat shapes, because we're not all the same.
Right.
And that's where retro windbreakers is really fun. And with the brand, we do polls nowadays, and we're trying to figure out what our customer base really likes. And we're trying to cater to all those different aspects. Like today, we just did a poll asking what people want. And I heard tote bag, and I heard board shorts a lot.
It was like, oh shit, I wouldn't even think about that shit.
And so I've definitely designed both years ago, a couple months ago, but to really see it and do a number poll and percentage, you really get to see where your customer base is coming from.
Right.
So what I really find interesting is like just listening and trying to get the ideas from the people that are really buying the product. And like I love what we have in stock right now. Like it's really fun. It's all earth tones for the clothing brand.
Yeah.
And the jackets are they're just high end, and they're top tier quality. I've never bought jackets like this before.
Right.
Like this is my first year ever buying what is the future of the brand and retro windbreakers. It's gonna be the best of the best. It's no more of like small time things for the jacket game.
Yeah.
What we're really doing is we're only buying the best, because that's what the customers deserve. They deserve the best product, and that's what we uphold for the brand. We want it to last long. It's vintage. As this guy and I were talking last night, it's mint and it's vintage. Mintage.
Is that mintage?
Vintage. Yeah. It's mint condition.
So with that being said, what was the most expensive jacket that somebody's purchased from you? Because I know you got jackets going from 400, 6, 8. What what's the most like somebody actually came like, yo,
right now
for one?
Right now, the most expensive product we have in stock is at $1,500. And these are all old school leather jackets, Jeff Hamilton series, and limited editions. And the most expensive one we had was in the thousands range. Yeah. And this one was a Disney princess jacket. And the reason why it's sold and how we figured it out, my roommate and I, we were looking at the analytics on the back end of the website. And what's really cool is somebody posted the URL on Reddit, and the URL had so many hits on that page. I'd never seen a spike like that. It was like 64,000% up of all time. Yeah. And I was like, what is going on here? How did this happen? Someone posted on Reddit, and that was how someone purchased it. So what's really cool about the retro brand and everything is it's really something that like spreads over time. It's not like it's word of mouth. what I love calling is guerrilla marketing. You know, it's the first thing I learned in marketing 101 is like, be loud, get out there.
Oh, okay. I was gonna ask, like, how'd you come up? What's guerrilla marketing?
So guerrilla marketing is a term. I know I didn't make it up. What it is, it's going on the Instagram and commenting on posts and tagging other people and things like that, getting yourself known.
Right.
So like for me in college was, I got in so much trouble for this. I gave everyone in the fraternity and all around campus stickers, and they slapped it on everything. And I made like there were, I used the shape of the school like logo. I put that on the bus stops, on the buses. Oh man, the school called me within like,
they knew it was you.
Oh yeah, 100%. My name was on the website. Like, this was 2014.
But what was they even mad about?
Oh, it was private property.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. They were on all the street signs. Like, oh man, I had to go scrub them all off. It was
you
epic.
Personally?
Yeah. I had to like, it was like disciplinary board or something.
You're right.
It was hilarious. But that's guerrilla marketing in a sense. It's like, do those things to get you caught, to tell the story on the news.
Right.
You know, it's like, I told that story one time on the news.
And like you was even saying in Indiana, like they was picking you up on the news like back to back because it was like it wasn't much.
I went to Okemos, Michigan, where my business partner's from in college. And we went on the news there because he was like, hey, let's go to my hometown. I was like, let's go.
Yeah.
So we woke up at like 4 a.m, went to the news station, did it. But that was a fun time. Like college, I never really talk about that anymore. It's like some behind me, but it's also something that got me where I am today because I learned the hard way then. And I'm even learning now. Like I made mistakes yesterday and 2 days before and a week ago. Then I'm like, how would I do that? And why am I making that mistake still? And then I wrote down like, oh, this is why. And I avoid it. And there's some things in business you can't control. But when you're in control, you're in control. But when it's out of your control, why are you mad?
Right. That's why I kind of feel like earlier when you said with the failures, like you said, like they help build you and show you like what not to do. So I feel like you do need the failures. So I was like, even if you do have a backup plan, that backup plan may not have worked because you wasn't prepared for that failure.
So what's really interesting about the brand is I was about to give up one day. I was at the gym. I was on the bike. And
you was gonna give up the retro windbreakers?
I was gonna give it all up and just go work a simple job, make my money, and have. And
why was you gonna give it up?
So honestly, health wise, I wasn't going through like the best times. I have like really severe eczema, and it's on my forehead for the most part. You know, and this is the main reason why we make hats. Because I wear hats every day to cover my eczema. And I can't control where it is on my body.
Right.
I've had it since I was a little kid, but severe around 8 years. Not many people know I have it because I cover it.
Have you looked into any natural products that?
So I take steroids and medicine to like keep it under control, but it's something that it doesn't go away. But there's things that'll keep it calm. But the day I was in the gym, I was wearing a hat that wasn't mine. And a couple days later, our trademark came in for the logo. And my confidence boosted a little bit. And then I was
hat that wasn't yours was what logo?
It was aloe. Everyone thought I was like an aloe sponsor at the time. Because that's all,
like lotion.
No, like aloe, the clothing store.
Oh shit! I'm like, like aloe vera type shit.
Yeah. So people were like, do you work there? Like, are you an ambassador for them? Because it wasn't that big like a year ago as it is today. But I was wearing that hat. I was like, I can make something just like this or even better
myself.
So I started asking around, started going to LA, And now all of our product is made in LA and San Diego. Mm-hmm. And I got that confidence boost because I fully believed in the brand once I put the 3 together. Because
that meant something to you.
Because it meant something. Mm-hmm. You know, this logo right here, it has its story. I made it inside of when I was working at my uncle's art gallery when I first moved here.
Right.
I was bored one day and I had a vision. I was like, I need a logo for the business. So I was like, oh, okay. So I made the logo. And then when I put the 3 together, I dropped it on our birthday, August 17th. And when I dropped it, people didn't know the story at first. Mm-hmm. But I posted the triplets growing up, you know, going through life together. And like, my siblings are everything. My family's everything. You know, as you know, your family's everything to you, 100. Like you said. And, you know, to have me talking about my family every day when people ask me, what is it? What is that? I'm in Office Depot. That's so cute. What is that? You know, like a 70, 80-year-old lady likes a product that I sell. I'm flabbergasted sometimes. Right. And then I'm also like, yeah, like, why wouldn't she like it? Right. You know? So the confidence is really key when building a brand. Like, you have to believe in it. And if you don't think other people believe in it, you just don't do it. Right. Like, what you really have to do is invest your time in what you love and what you do. And I love fashion. Like, I've tried to get away from it so many times. I've had my family and I counted it at dinner the other night. I had 6 LLCs or something. This is my like 7th. And it's like, how did I get to where I am today? It's because all of those failed. And like, I've never talked about that, but we did a dinner that one night and we were dying laughing. I was like, this business is almost 3 years old, like 2.5 coming up. And those businesses might have lasted longer or shorter, but this one means more than anything to me because it's like, it's longevity. It's a brand, you know, exactly. It's like, and longevity. It has and that's what I, you know, hope for you guys as well.
Definitely. And that's the plan.
Hell yeah.
And what brought the kind of stick figure? Like, what made you think like, I want to do that?
So it's like AOL.
Like, it's kind of like the and I thought of the man walking across the street.
So a lot of people associate like Keith Haring and things like that, the walk sign. So we want to keep it like oblivious, kind of different. And adding the 3 is like, what is it? Kind of intriguing. You kind of notice something that's similar and also different. But it's a fun logo. And what we did is this was the first logo in 2020. We put on hoodies. Then I hollowed it out with just the black. Mm-hmm. And then we put the 3 together with the color. We were like, oh. Then we simplified it with just the silhouette of the 3 like it is today. Yeah. So what I really like telling people is like, try to adapt, try to listen, and try to figure things out, because along the way, this has never had a name until 2 weeks ago. Team Retro. Word. You know, it's like.
So what was you calling it before?
Yaz
or
Walking
until
Man.
2 weeks ago.
Yeah. And like retro windbreakers. That's all it was. But we've been using the tag phrase Team Retro so that's much.
The name today.
Yeah. And we've been tagging it so much that it just evolved. We didn't mean for it to happen. It was like hashtag Team Retro. It's like when you have a brand, you want to have a tagline. Mm-hmm. That's Team Retro isn't the tagline anymore. It's the name of the brand, because people started naming it that. It wasn't me. Like, I just started putting Team Retro on everything. Like, Team Retro, all over the place. And then people were like, oh, it's Team Retro. I'm like, okay.
Right, it is.
It is. So I didn't come up with it. People did. Like, people helped us figure it out. Like, that's why time is so key to like where we're at right now and like where you guys are gonna be too in the future. It's like so much is gonna change, and you just got to be able to adapt. And like for me, it's like 5 years ago I wasn't able to adapt, and that's why I lost my first as apparel business. I wasn't able to adapt to where I was, what I was doing when I left college to sustain the business. You know, it's like I do the markets in downtown, not just to sell, to network, say what's up to my friends. My friends live in the building right above because I used to live there. It's really just a place where people know I'm at, and I get to see my friends, get to really network with other people that are coming into town in order to build the business, build the brand. And that just takes time. Like I had a customer come back from Hawaii, like Rude Kicks, amazing fashion. Like he posts the you will love it.
You said Rude Kicks?
Rude Kicks. And he Navy guy. And he always hits me up when he's here. And he has the best style, shoes to match everything like you. And he's like, I need a jacket for every shoe. Right. And he's like, I need one for my wife too. Actually, I need a few more.
That's a perfect customer.
And what's really great about the business is our price point gets people to come back. You know, especially when we're in person, I'm able to get to talk to you, feel your vibes. You know, like if I see a hat goes really well with a product, you know, I'll show you. You know, I want to help you win. You know, like people come to the booth and they literally go, "What's the best one you got?" I'm like, "All right, if you say so." This is this. You tell me what size, I'll tell you. Right. I'm never gonna steer you the wrong way because I've studied fashion for over 8-9 years now, and really intensely in the past like 3. And I love studying it because I see the evolution and I'm moving with it. Right. You know, it's cool. And you know, someone asked me last night, it's like, do you ever just want to set a trend? I'm like, no, you know how hard that is? You know, like it's not that you set the trend, it just happens. Right. Because you've been doing it for so long. Right. It's not like an overnight success. Like it's never happened like that. Maybe for a few people, but like I ain't yodeling at a Walmart.
And kind of like even with you, how you said like when you switched up the name from the Retro Windbreakers to Team Retro, that was even able to excel you to now I'm not only doing windbreakers, I have a whole brand behind me. Like I can do whatever I want. This is Team Retro. I'm throwing my stamp on it, so I can do anything outside of that.
Yeah. So the vision was when I first started Retro Windbreakers was to really follow that, like just jackets, nothing else. Like all we sold for 2 years was really jackets. And then we started introducing hoodies, you know, and then hats started to come along because I wanted to cover my eczema. I was like, I need 10 hats. Like in every shoe that I have, every shirt and hoodie that I want to wear, I got a hat to match it.
And what you wanted to cover your eczema, was that something more you were embarrassed about or somebody was telling you about?
It's not that I'm embarrassed. Like if I could just show my forehead at all times and not hear nothing from anyone, I'm good. But when I get constantly bombarded, what's wrong with you? Why don't you do something about shit? And getting kicked out of clubs because I'm wearing a hat, getting profiled because I'm wearing a hat. I'm like, this is ridiculous. So if that's the place that I don't feel like I'm belonging, I'll just go. I don't make a fuss. My dad always taught me, I used to have a short fuse. Now I'm more calm, collected. I think a little bit more than I used to, you know? What's the point? Like today I saw a fight in Starbucks. I was like, what is going on? You made
like
me
take a fist fight or?
Almost. They were like verbally getting really close to. Right. And I was just like, can we all just get back to work? Right. So for me, it's never, it doesn't solve anything, you know, getting upset or getting uptight around things. When you're able to really like plan things out, it's all good. Like And what I always do is enjoy myself. Like I love what I do. Like every day I wake up and I'm like, let's go. Like it's something new to do. Like I might even go to LA on Thursday.
Yeah.
Because people are asking for tote bags. People are asking for board shorts. Like when people are asking for something, it's demand, you know, and that's the cool part about how busy you guys are already. Like, and you guys started 4 or 5 months ago, you said?
Yeah, we started November.
That's wild. You guys are booked. Like it took us 3 months.
Right.
That's high.
We pulled up to your shop and was like, oh, we're going to have to definitely get you on.
We got to get B-roll first.
Yeah, exactly. We was like,
so
exactly.
My beard might be 4 different lengths by the end. Might have a goatee in one, mustache in another.
It all works out, as we know. So, like you also touched on, you said how it kind of took you to fail. So, what made you realize, okay, now I need to be more adaptable? Because you said that's what kind of with the Yaz brand, it was like that's what kind of took you to be like, okay.
So the Yaz brand was very like
Yaz apparel.
I wasn't being so creative as I thought I was. You know, I was just really trying to brand the logo. And that's what I really learned for Team Retro. It's like taking a logo and really using it in a way that's like simple, you know, but also bold in a sense. So what I realize is people want quality, as I keep repeating, because that's what my roommate in sophomore and junior year, they would always be like, quality over quantity. I'm like, what are you talking about?
I've always heard that more in weed terms.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna lie.
Oh, I heard about it.
Yeah, I've heard that in weed terms, but like, I definitely know what you mean.
You get some shake. So what it was is I always did screen printing. I always did simple stuff. Once I started embroidering, I was like, oh, I'm wearing it. I never wore my stuff until this past year, really.
Damn.
Because it wasn't high
you
quality.
Wasn't really feeling it.
It wasn't my style. And then when I started making clothes for myself, people started asking me about it because I was wearing it. There's not been one day since August where I have not worn something. Like, I'm always wearing a hat or, you know, always a hoodie for the most part. Right. I started getting into polos because I like dressing nice when I'm around my family, but I also like repping. Right. And you know, and that's one thing we're going to get into, sleepwear. It's like we want to build those out, but right now the focus is on the branding aspects because it's only been really 6.5 months with this triplet logo. So it's new. Mm-hmm. And it needs to be out there enough times to where we can do more variations to where it doesn't confuse the customer base. Because the worst thing you could do is use this one logo and this logo too many times to where they don't know which one's the main logo.
Right, so like, is it the 1 or is it the 3?
3. So it's the 3. Mm-hmm. And people are going to start knowing that because this logo, I could tell you how many probably I sold to my friends, and that's really it. Like, this one logo is like San Diego, maybe in New York and Nashville, probably not too many other places. But this logo is getting places because of time. Like, it's been 6 months, but I've also been pushing it with other people because without their help, I wouldn't be where I am today. Right. And at the market is where I meet most of the people. Right. You know?
And kind of like you said, like now you're looking to touch more on the online.
Exactly. Right when you got here, we were talking about that. It's pretty much the online is a larger reach. You're open 24/7.
Exactly. And they don't have to pull up to the pop-up.
What's really great about Retro Windbreakers is the chat feature. It's not AI that's going to respond to you. It's either me or one of our representatives that's going to help us help you with your purchase, because we want you to have the most comfortable jacket, the best fit, before you buy it. You know, because we have the quality on the photos, but if you're unsure, message us. We'll respond to you.
Right.
We're prompt. We will give you all you need to know, measurements and all that when it comes to the product that you're buying, because we want you to be satisfied. And that's like one of the first things I learned in business class is customer service. It's like it's key.
Right.
And keeping your customers happy is important, because they're gonna keep coming back. And that's what's helping you grow. And like I feel so blessed, like beyond blessed with the customer base that we have, because they're coming back and they're telling us what to make. You know, that's powerful.
Like, I love that you make this, but make this. If you make this more, I could do this as well.
Exactly. And that's why I like seeing what other people design, because sometimes that's what's taking off. Other times it might not be.
Right.
That's why you just got to put it out and see where it goes, you know? And what I always say is start small and work your way up. Yeah. Don't go too big. Why go so big when you don't know?
Exactly.
If you're super confident, make 10.
Exactly.
Don't 10. Make 100. Make 10
and see what
sell out. Build a demand. If you're sitting on 80, whatever, doesn't matter what it is. Whatever could be pencils. Does not matter. But if it's Girl Scout cookies, I'm buying it.
I got a question. I just got to take a piss real quick. Let me take a piss right back. I got a question. You say what? Are we good right now? 100% right now. All right, we good. Touch on your customer base. Yeah, you have a lot of people taking pictures in your brand. I mean, if you
Very
could,
thankful for that.
And not to even put you on the spot, because people even ask me, like, "Oh, who is your best spot?" It's hard to think of on the spot. But who is one of the biggest names you've had in your brand?
I mean, it's most likely been Russell Westbrook. That was a cool experience. And then, I mean, I wouldn't even.
And he was wearing the team retro, or he was wearing
he was wearing the jacket. Okay. So he was here July 4th weekend 2020 last year.
And he came downtown?
2022, yeah. Yeah, he came to our booth twice, once on Saturday, and then Sunday he came through and got what he wanted. But what was really cool about him is he bought his friends all jackets, and then he wore one for the pregame against the Clippers, like game 8 of the season, like first like 3 or 4 at home. So he was dripping, and like it was all over League Fits, and like everybody was hitting me up, and I was like, damn, yo, he finally fucking wore it. That's cool. And then, but the thing is, like, to me, that's really cool. But to see like the connections that the brand gets is, to me, more powerful than seeing someone that's a celebrity that I'm necessarily like, I met him, but I don't know him. But like friends meeting each other in different parts of the world because of the logo is, I think, it's bigger than a celebrity, because this was really one of the most powerful moments. Like for me, because I lived in Israel for a year, I called it my home, you know, and I was away from home, and my friends texted me, and I wasn't having a good day, like at all. And they texted me a picture with each other at the Dead Sea in Israel, in the souvenir shop, holding up a hat, because they saw a 1 inch by 1 inch logo on a hat.
And what is the Dead Sea exactly?
The Dead Sea is where it's like the lowest point on the earth, to where on water you float, and the mud is so pure that it could probably fix this eczema. You're lying. I swear. So it's like a healing power. It's
so really the cool. Mud has like
supernatural, like
healing powers in it.
Straight up.
People really be using it?
Yeah, they sell it in bags too and ship it across the world.
Wow.
Because it's a business too, ain't it?
And then you said you float.
You float on the water.
Don't you float in all the water?
No, not this water.
Oh, why? It's salty?
It's the highest salt content, to where you're floating, bro. You can't even like.
You can't go down there.
No.
Damn.
And there's no.
And you've been in there before?
Yeah.
And there's no fish in there.
No fish. They're dead.
No sharks. No nothing.
Nothing can live in it.
Wow. And how many times have you been in there?
Once. but my friends met there. My friends from college met my friend from Nashville. So they all are from Chicago, but went to Indiana with me. And then I was best friends with him in high school, Ben.
Yeah.
And they all met, and I was like, that made my day, you know? And like, I continuously see that on a daily basis. One time I had it happen like 6-7 times in one day. I got texts from friends meeting each other. I go, yo, this is.
He's like, bro, you know what that brings? Like, bro, hell yeah, dude.
Yeah, and that's to me more powerful, because connecting people in the same circle pretty much that have a commonality on fashion, I think is really powerful these days. I don't think many people think about that. And it's really interesting. The type of clothes I wear to a market has changed over time based on the demographic I'm trying to reach.
Mm-hmm. So if you go downtown, what are you usually wearing?
I wear my 550s. New Balance. Black, sleek, match everything I sell. I can put on any jacket. It looks good.
So if you go to Otay Ranch.
Oh, I'm going to take me some ranch and get some chips. No, Dabba Ranch. Nah, my outfit changes when I'm in OB. I only wear what I'm wearing right now. I wear monotones. So if you're wearing bright colors in that area when you're selling a product that doesn't match what you're selling, it doesn't work. It's uniform. It's why businesses have a strict guideline of what their employees wear, because uniforms sell the product as well. And like, who works at this place if they're not a uniform? You know, it's you could be any bystander, but if you have authority with the outfit that you wear, and that's why I always like, whenever I speak on like fashion, it's like, it tells that story. It's like, you work here, you know?
Yeah.
Versus like, she doesn't even go here.
That's kind of like what you were saying. Like, when you see businesses and they're kind of mad if their employees sit down, like that tells you like, I can't sit down.
Yeah, exactly. The T-Bazaar, great rule. I love it. And they're across from me and they say, don't sit down. I really try and as hard as I can. I have a bench for the customers for whatever need be, but I call that the team bench, where everyone could rest and get a drink of water whenever they're coming to chill, you know, like, cause I love when families come in and like, people want to sit. They've been walking around the market for like an hour or sometimes I've seen people walk around the market for like 2-3 hours. That's like my mom back in the day. Like, oh, this caught my eye for 10 minutes, 2 minutes, one. Oh, no. Oh man, get you for 20 minutes. I've had people stay in my tent for like, longest I've ever seen was like, this past weekend was like an hour and a half, one person.
Damn. In your tent?
Yeah, Colin.
Are they
great guy? Guy.
So they were just sitting. They weren't actually looking at shit.
No. Oh, he was looking. No. He was looking. He was buying. Okay. But some people really take their time and go through the product that you sell, because, you know, as somebody coming from like, you know, just starting in the vintage reseller like area, this guy was like, I really like fashion, but I really want to make sure my finances are straight. You know, it's like, can I buy this?
Yeah.
You know, it's like, how many can I buy?
Right.
It's like every buyer is different, and that's unique because you can work with customers. You can like, and that's the power of like being at these markets. Like, I get to meet so many cool people. You guys came by one time and I was like, yo, this is fresh, but I got to get to work real quick.
Exactly.
So it's a lot about,
understood that.
You can't like be lazy at these things. You really have to be like on your toes. And like, people have given me suggestions. Tony, he gave me the suggestion to get a mirror. Got a mirror. It's
so
been
somebody could check itself out.
Exactly.
Like,
it's fun. Someone else was like, bring something for other people to sit on. Now I have a bench. Mm-hmm. Someone else was like, bring music. So I'm like, okay, bring music. And then someone else was like, get a banner. I was like, okay, got a banner. And that was over a year and a half of being at the market, I started doing the things people told me to do, and it actually helped me. Thinking it might hurt me was not trying.
Right.
And when you don't do it, you won't know. And when you learn, okay, it might not work, but try it.
Try it.
Exactly. So like being able to adapt, but also like not being afraid to like try something new. Like this week, I'm taking risks. I'm taking risks. Like I want it to grow.
What's the risk you taking this week?
Risk. I don't talk about what I do.
Oh, for sure.
I take action at it.
For sure.
And that's one thing about like being in your job too. It's like you don't tell everybody what you're doing. Oh no. But you just do it.
Right.
And that's the thing. It's like I write it down. I don't tell anyone. I just try to do it every day. Mm. And then once it's done, I'll show it and I'll tell, but like if I need help working it out, I'll ask questions.
Exactly.
But like that's why like Team Retro is like where it is today, is because people have given us those suggestions, and like I would not be like sitting here honestly if it wasn't for the people around me, because they've given me so many clues, customers, and like just hints at what to do. Not really like tell me you should do this, or like suggestions.
Right.
Like try to do this, hints there and that. And like for me, honestly, I want to hear like the worst of what you think. And this one guy, barely know him at the time, comes to my booth after a year. He always comes by. He goes, "What's your website?" I go, "It's on the banner." So he scans it, comes by the next week. He goes, "You need to change this. You need to change that. You need to do that." I go, "Oh my God, I didn't even realize these things." And that's the power of like having an outside perspective too. It's like, I met this guy last night, psychologist. He did not know anything about the brand. And then one thing hit him. He goes, "I've seen that before." So sometimes it takes
and seen what?
They've seen the logo.
So he's seen your brand before?
Yeah, but he forgot for a while.
Uh-huh.
And then there's sparks. So sometimes it takes time, like to re-register a brand.
Yeah.
That's why it's important to do a lot of repetition in your daily routine and in your brands. It's like the more repetition, my best selling product in college, Blase. That's it.
And what is that?
Blase. Remember the song? Blase, Blase.
Yeah, I remember that.
That's it. Blase, Blase.
But what was the brand? It was like clothes?
The Yaz apparel.
Oh, okay.
And it had Blase. I have it downstairs.
You still kept it?
Oh, I wore that. I wore that on TV too. I didn't care. There was another one that said Rose, and the accent was the logo, and it was so clean. It was so clean. And my friend, his name is Blake, so I made custom shirts that said Blake. And bro, he popped off. Probably ordered like 24 to start. A week later, he ordered 48, and he just kept ordering them.
And that was all for him?
No, his friends were all buying it. The family, friends. Damn. This kid was a clown. Funny. Great kid. He works at Overtime basketball. Yeah, he's a great guy. And just block. That's what they always do. It was so funny. But Blase was our very like Blase. I'll get it done.
Blase.
That's why I'm like, it's all good. It's all taken care of.
Yeah. What brought about the name Persian Drizzy?
I was on a cruise, and these girls were like, "Hey, how do I get in touch with you?" I'll go, "Huh?" She's like, "You got a Twitter?" I was like, "Nope, but I will today."
Yeah.
So I got a Twitter. And I was like, "Oh, people always told me I look like Drizzy."
Uh-huh.
And I was like, "Persian Drizzy."
Uh-huh.
I was like one of the only Persians in town, but we were the only Persian Jewish family in our town. And so everybody was like the Persian Jew.
Yeah.
So it was like very interesting being in the South, being something that no one else is. So I was like, I owned up to whatever I was, and I am, you know?
Right. I was thinking, like, what is that?
Because
like?
I never give up, like, where I'm from. Like,
right.
I'm from Nashville, Tennessee. That will never change.
So what is that like being a Persian Jew in Nashville, Tennessee?
Nowadays, it's nothing.
It's normal?
It's normal.
What was it like when you was there, though?
Growing up, like, I saw it on a different level when it came to, like, terrorism and everything like that. I definitely took it. Kids are harsh, you know? It's like, you don't realize those things when you're younger. But when you're older, you look back on it and you're like, God damn.
Little fucker, he was
like,
saying that kind of stuff?
Yeah. Oh, like, you're a terrorist type stuff.
And this is you as a kid?
Yeah. I mean, I had to shave constantly.
Because you was worried about them talking shit?
No, it wasn't me. I never cared.
Okay.
You know, it's family.
Your family was worried about you.
Family was worried about me because I got stopped a lot at, like, airports because of my beard because I was young.
Uh-huh.
You know, it's just profile. Like, it's being something minority, you're always just, there's a little halo over you, like, kind of watching. There's like, you think there's more eyes on you when there's really just the same.
So kind of really, like you, that's like, and I don't want to cut you off, just because you're on this point, it's like kind of now that kind of opens up the eyes, like minority isn't only like, I mean, they say like black and brown, but they usually consider that like Mexican and stuff, Latino. Like you consider like yourself, like you just said, minority.
Yeah.
And you came with, like you said, you feel like always eyes are more on you than it actually is happening. Yeah.
So what's really funny, my brother, Aaron, the doctor, he went to HBCU.
Oh, shit.
Exactly.
Shit. What was that?
In Meharry in Nashville for medical school. Okay. So he was minority and all, like an African.
Black school, yeah.
So it was just, it was really interesting.
Yeah.
Minority in certain parts of, you know, society as well. It's like Tennessee, it's not normal to be Persian.
Right. That's why I'm like,
LA,
curious. That's like,
LA, everybody's like, I know that Persian fool. You know, it's like people, when it's just naive, it's just, you don't know.
Right.
Like, and that's like something I had to grow up with as a kid, is like being told, like, ignorance. As a kid, you're going to hell from a Christian girl. That's just a young kid that just like is taught in school, if you're not Christian, you're going to hell. So I was a kid and girls were always telling me, you're going to hell.
And why was it the girls?
Girls? Because am I kissing on a girl? God? No.
Okay. Okay. You're going to hell for that. Okay. No. Okay.
Oh my God, that's so.
Okay, now I picked up on it. Okay, that's how you going to hell.
You had to get him upset a little bit.
Okay.
You're going to hell.
Yeah, I see now for sure. I see. Well, no, but for sure, like I definitely know where you're coming from. Like you said, like you feel like more eyes are on you than actually is happening and stuff like that. And that's just from a look that you have. So it's like I definitely know what you're coming from.
But you know me, I always take a serious situation and try to make it fun.
Oh man, you have to.
Yeah, because like I always see things.
Because if you go home mad, you're gonna be mad and continue being mad. Yeah. And like you said, you used to have a short temper. Yeah. So if you continue to stay on that mad shit, you're gonna continue to be mad.
Oh yeah. Now I just take some deep breaths. I'm like, let's do better. And then I literally walk it off. I have to go on so many long walks. Do you do that at all?
Oh man, I love walking. I was just telling him earlier, like, actually just love. I was in the rain and we was out there. I'm like, man, we don't get it too much. I mean, we've been having this rain out here in San Diego for a couple of months now, but we don't get rain. So it's like when you see different shit, like I enjoy when I go out of town and see snow or you see rain and stuff like that. So I enjoy outside for sure.
Oh yeah.
Especially being active.
That's where I get like a lot of my good thoughts. I've been going to the gym a lot more now. I just like, it's literally, they say like, it brings out good ideas. It really does. Yeah. Like walks for me. For me, it's really like I'm analytical. So I look at things maybe extended amounts of time and just analyze it.
Right.
And then move on. And then other things I miss, you know? But for me, it's like, I love studying the fashion in San Diego. It's so different. You go to LA and they come to San Diego, I can tell you what part of LA you're probably from sometimes. Over here, I can't tell you where you're from sometimes.
So what's the difference for you the fashion in San Diego and LA?
LA is very like it's different.
What would you consider that fashion, I guess?
What would I would consider it LA is more of a street city vibe. San Diego is more of like a lifestyle. They're not really like gonna change their outfit once or twice a day, like at most twice. I feel like LA, it's like you have more clothes in your closet. That's just a fact. Like over here, I feel like people aren't worried about like their appearance of what they're wearing and be so flashy. And that's why the Team Retro brand is really like
thriving.
No, it's just like it's toned down. It's not like bright. I feel like in LA you can wear those colors a lot more, and like that's more of a norm. It's like New York and LA, the same type of like Paris, is different from New York. It's like everywhere. Italy compared, every city has their different vibes, but those ones that I mentioned besides San Diego, you can wear those bright colors and really get away with it. Over here, people don't really like. It's really interesting. Like fashion is just like,
and that's funny because I rock with like bright colors. Like I got a lot of shoes. Like I was telling you earlier, I got a lot of stuff that's bright colors, and I'm from San Diego, but I can't say where I picked up a style from or whatever. Like because I like a lot of different stuff. So
no, it's really interesting though. It's like, but we were talking about shoes. People over in LA and Inland Empire, all about the shoes. Like they go to the conventions in Long Beach, Complex Con, like all those really cool events, and those are the regions. They're the more of the fashion trickles from Irvine Spectrum, and then it goes to Tustin, and then it's the Citadel, downtown LA, and then all of a sudden all hell breaks loose in LA, and it's all so it's trickling. When it goes to Irvine Spectrum, the next city down is San Marcos. They ain't got nothing but some college students and families. Then you keep going down south, you got like the military base, and that's like 40 miles of that. Fashion is just camo at that point. And then you just keep going down. You get surfers along the way, and then you get your white collar on the other side of the mountain.
Right.
And then you just keep going down. And it changes all the way to Mexico. So when you get down to downtown, it's a merge of all those like cities combined in downtown metropolitan. Then you keep going south. Then you get the Latino, Chicano. You get all these different African American vibes. It's all a mixture when you keep going south. And then you hit Mexico and
now you're in Adios, Mexico. Yeah, now you're in Mexico.
Now you're in Mexico. So fashion really like it's a melting pot from LA down. You know what I mean? That's the way I look at it.
So with the brand that you have now, do you see yourself transitioning from retro windbreakers to only doing your own logo?
What do you mean
So as far as like you only doing your logo, you're not selling basically anything outside. Everything you have is basically your logo on it.
No, I always want to bring in products that are resale items because I love art, as you could probably tell in the background. Like I love art from just buying it, looking at it, making it. I used to make art for I've always made art, but when I tore my ACL in high school, my therapy was literally like wheel throwing, and I would just make pottery every day. And that was like for me, like the way I coped with like not being able to play baseball in college.
Why would they tell you that was what to do?
because I loved pottery at the time. That was like my favorite form of art. And then I couldn't do anything else with my legs. So I found a wheel that was with my hand pressed, and I just did it like that.
So you must have been, it's like you doing baseball, like it was heavy, and that was a depressing state in your life.
Yeah, and art really helped me kind of like evolve into like where I'm at now, because like all it is, fashion to me is art. When I look at a piece, I'm looking for a patch, I'm looking for colors, I'm looking for a story. What year is it from? You know, it's like I want to be able to tell the customers that are buying it exactly what they're buying, and no beating around the bush. Like, this is what it is. And, you know, this product was bought here or there. You know, it's a fun thing that I do, and I love it. You know,
and that's dope that you love actually what you do. Like, that's probably one of the bigger things that keeps you excelling and elevating, because you actually enjoy what you're doing, so you're gonna actually put the time and effort to keep this thriving.
100%.
And with that being said, let the people know where they can find you, where you at selling it. Let them know your socials, all that.
So we're online at retrowindbreakers.com, on Instagram, retrowindbreakers_com, and then TikTok, YouTube, TuneIn. A lot of things are going to be happening, and I'm really looking forward to see where y'all are going to be heading to, because that's exciting to me. You know, I'm honestly, like, I haven't been on a podcast, and to be asked, it's an honor. And I moved here like not too long ago, and I feel like this is a Daygo platform. So like, thanks for putting Nashville on the map.
So we fucking definitely trying to incorporate.
Hey, I like
we're going to
that.
excel outside of San Diego, but Daygo will always be fucking home.
Yeah, and San Diego is my new home.
Definitely.
And Team Retro is it's going places because of this podcast as well.
Oh, I love it. So with that even being said, let the people know what podcast you on.
Oh, the BiGG Umbrella, baby. Too much drip.
With that being said, man, it's another episode of the BiGG Umbrella Podcast, and it's a wrap. That's what's up, bro. I appreciate you, bro.
That was awesome.
Thank you, bro. I appreciate you. Well, let's get some tacos, nigga. Can we really get some tacos? You trying to get some tacos? Let's get some tacos, nigga.